Welcome everyone to the Goddess Temple. My name is Chris, and for today's message, what I have coming through is I know this is going to be similar to one of the previous videos I've just recently done. It's through liberation. This message is around liberation. And liberation from what? Liberation from yourself. From the way that you showed up in this world, the way that you've showed up in your life. To actually being compassionate towards yourself. That's what you're liberating yourself from, is being compassionate towards yourself. What I mean by that, the way that you thought that it was okay for you to act, to behave, the ideas that you have, the stories that you have, the goals that you have, you're starting to realize that a lot of these things that you wanted to do them when you were young. They're not something completely new. These are little parts of you that wanted to exist. It's just that the people around you may have not helped you to realize it and to help you shape it and build it and grow it and honor it. And the thing is, you didn't know how to either. And you're starting to be a little bit more compassionate towards yourself for having these desires, for asking for the things that you have wanted. And you're starting to see that it was okay for you to have wanted these things, for you to have wanted a certain type of life, and that there's a way to live it, to experience it without having to, build up the highest wall or to go to war. None of that. You don't need to even destroy and implode your whole life. So you can create a whole other identity and create the life that you want. You didn't need to even do that. No, you didn't. It's okay for you to have your life. You're okay to choose these things. It's okay for you to have done the things that you thought were what you wanted or that felt perfect during that moment, but then now you're looking at it and you're like, no, I can't. I regret doing that. That sense of regret, that sense of um, like that you have violated your own self and having a little bit of trouble even admitting that you've done that. The thing is, you don't know what you don't know until you do it, right? Until you're in it, you're like, oops, I guess I shouldn't have done that. The thing is, it's not only us, right? There's so many stories from thousands and thousands of years ago that tells us everything that we're doing right now. Nothing is different. We've lived it all. We've done it all. And the difference, to be honest, is on a collective level. It's no longer a select few that are aware of their actions that grow and develop. The equivalent of that is becoming an expert, right? Is becoming an expert in your field, and why and how people, as they keep doing something for so long, for so many years, that they begin to even see that, oh, this direction that I was going, you know what? It was limited. That there needs to be more, and there needs to be more, and there needs to be a little bit of difference here. And they're like, oh wait, no, never mind. This is the actual way to go about it. You're always going to be changing and evolving and growing and developing. The thing is, on a more collective level, we're starting to realize it's less about one or two people that have that capacity, or people that have been doing something for so long that they're the ones that are more experts than others. We're starting to realize that we can actually learn from people that may not have nothing to do with what you're doing, and that you get to still learn from people, you get to still learn from everyone and grow and develop a different way of existing, a different way of living, of being inspired, and there's no judgment to the way that you're being inspired by life, through life, and it's valid. You're valid to exist, to live, to thrive. You're valid. That that's something. You know, you're learning to be compassionate with yourself. That you don't need an adult to help develop a, an idea that you have. That it's okay that the adults in your life that you grew up with didn't have that capacity. It's okay that you didn't even have that capacity, even as an adult. You still didn't put in the work to develop a skill, a desire, a vision that you had. And then there's other times that you're like, you know what? It's okay that I even chose to let go of this. Even that, there's nothing wrong with that. Whatever place that you've been feeling split, it's starting to make sense. And you're starting to understand I can let go. I can forgive. I can forgive myself and I can forgive them, whoever they are. And you're starting to realize that with all of these choices and desires that you have, with these way of moving and navigating through this world, there's no one way of doing anything. There's no right and wrong way. It's just, it is what it is. And I know that phrase may trigger some people. It's like, what do you want to do with that? But it is what it is. And what it is life. The fact that this is what it means to be human. And that doesn't take away from the holistic, thriving nature that you're human. It's okay that you don't do what you wanted to do. It's okay that your dreams and wishes change. It's okay. You're actually liberating yourself. You're starting to realize that, you know what? I actually don't have to feel guilty about this. I am still free. I am still worthy enough to receive. I still am worthy to thrive. All my needs and desires are met, including my new ones, of course. And I'm here and I'm alive and I get to savor every single moment that exists. There's no right and wrong way of living and existing, and I'm here. I'm worthy and I'm valid. This liberation of the limitations that you've held yourself to, the way that you've felt like that you were bound to, and that you had to justify the choices you've made. You're starting to liberate yourself. You're starting to notice that I can actually loosen my grip here. I don't have to be so protective. I don't have to be so defensive. I can let go and still be safe and held in reverence and be validated, and to a certain degree, be validated, to be revered, to be valued, right? All of this, just because I chose something different doesn't mean I'm exempt from life. You're starting to notice that there's quite a bit of beauty in it, in life like that. Sorry, my mind just kind of went quiet right now, and there isn't really. Um, okay, never mind. There is a little something here. So, what the visual that I'm getting is there was a few weeks ago, maybe a month ago. There is so one of my neighbors. I was watching this, and there was a bunch of kids just walking by, and they went to one of my neighbor's doors and uh, kicked her door and then ran off. Rang the doorbell, kicked her door, and ran off. She didn't open the door, and I can only imagine because I know she lives alone, and I can only imagine how she must have felt. And it was, it just felt like the aloneness that you hold yourself in, the fact that you have to navigate through this world alone and you're not able to connect, to open yourself up. And then there's others that just want to wreak havoc just because they're bored or they feel uneasy with the aloneness. So they're both coming from a place of aloneness. They're both coming from a place of chaos. It's just one is implosive and one is explosive. And it's time for you to liberate yourself. Whichever direction that you're moving in from, you're learning to navigate through these stories. And even the stories that a lot of um, spiritual teachers may teach in scriptures as well, is that you come into this world with it, right? It's already pre-ingrained into you. To a certain degree, yes. At the same time, we have been shown over and over again that you are not bound to your primitive nature, to your primitive life, to your bloodline. That because someone in the past has done something wrong, that it follows through. To a certain degree, yes. At the same time, right now, that way of thinking and existing is not serving you. That focus is not serving you. So truly look at active tools that teaches you how to navigate through your your current limitation, your current disturbance, and you'll find a lot of these tools when you go to therapy. Um, there's other ways of receiving these tools too, but um, please be responsible from where you get your resources from and also how you apply it. It really does help when you apply it from and with someone that is equipped to guide you through it. And you also do want a practitioner that has the capacity to discern when they are moving out of their scope of practice. Um, that's always helpful. When you have good practitioners, good healthcare service providers that know where their bounds, where their limitations are. Yeah, I don't know why I wanted to say that, but I just felt like it was necessary to come out. I feel like there's a little bit more because I'm still feeling this. There's just this pulse that wants to come through. And it's this pulse of change that really wants to move you. This liberation is that pulse of change, that transformation. And when you're in this place of when you're ready to change, it can feel quite limiting, it can feel quite daunting, it can feel quite dark. That things aren't changing, things aren't moving, and you're starting to notice that, you know what, they actually are now. they're starting to change. That you're starting to get it. And it all of a sudden just shifts and it clicks. And you're like, oh, this is how I move. This is what I'm meant to do. This is it. This is what I was looking for. And so you lean in more and more and more and more and more. You begin to see more of yourself. When you see more of yourself, you're learning to love more of the places that you have kept quiet and in the dark. You're learning to liberate these places, these fractals, these expressions of yourself, of your nature, of your impulse that tells you who you are, that shows you who you are. You are learning to liberate yourself from your own limitations, from your own um, structural safety, the safety that you're trying to create. You're starting to move through all of this. I really want you to grow deeper within yourself. It's not just externally growth, but it's internal growth as well that's being asked of you right now. To keep moving, even though, yes, things are chaotic and yucky and messy and sloppy. I know that word was a little bit weird, but let's just keep going. So even in that, you keep moving through, and you will always find a reason to move forward. You will always find it, even in the most darkest places. There is always going to be a help, support, life that moves you towards expansion and growth. Always. No doubt about that. So, with that little bit, I am going to be leaving this message here for you. And I really hope that this has supported you and helped you to grow further into your most inner depths, for you to even liberate yourself into the most expansive version of you, the highest version of you. And you're always going to keep meeting this highest version of you. And so, with that little bit, I wish you guys all the best, and I will speak to you soon.